Heidi ho, what up? Dave Allred, the Real Barman here from barpatrol.net, back with another adventurous yet practical tutorial in our Bar Profit Maximizer series. Today we're talking about how to set your pars so you don't overstock in your bar, but you also don't run out. Now, I know a lot of you are like, yeah, I got my pars all in my head, Dave, no problem. But no, you don't, because I see right in your storage room right now 3 cases of peach schnapps, which you will never move out of there. Which reminds me, if you haven't seen the video yet on dead stock, which is exactly what you'll accumulate, dead stock, if you don't set your pars, you can go watch that right now. Now, I know you might think this is an elementary tutorial, but don't take setting your pars lightly. It allows you to stay lean and organized and not overspend. And if you get your par set, it makes ordering so much easier, especially if you have an automatic ordering system built in like we do here at Bar Patrol. So let's get into it. Quick lesson today. I'm going to give you a simple formula for setting your pars and your reorder points, couple examples, and we're out of here. If this is your first time here and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so now so you and I can look into each other's eyes like newlyweds and I can impart romantic bar and restaurant wisdom upon you. Okay, enough of that. Let's get to the tutorial presentation. We'll get to my greenish, bluish gradient PowerPoint presentation, and we're ready to go. Let me get out of the way. There we go. 4 steps to setting pars. Sounds like a lot, but it's really not, but we have to make some calculations to make sure we set them correctly. All right, so here's the 4 steps. Step 1, we're gonna view historical data. We have to know what we've been selling in order to set those pars. Step 2, we're going to determine the weekly usage based on that historical data. Step 3, we're then going to multiply that weekly usage by 2. And then step 4, we're going to determine the reorder points. Okay, so let's get right into it. All right, step 1, viewing the historical data. All right, we're going to use our physical inventories to determine how much we've been using. Some of the POS systems say you can do your ordering based on the sales data and how much is depleted. But we all know, or should know, that your sales do not equal your usage. A lot of times your bartenders are giving stuff away or they're overpouring. What's being used is not the same as what's being sold. The most accurate count you can have is your inventory count. So we're gonna use those physical counts. And then we're gonna view historical data, ideally for the past 12 weeks. It doesn't have to be 12 weeks. It's just good to get a nice long range so you can see on average what you sell per week. You can do a couple weeks. 4 weeks is great if you wanna do that. All right, I'm gonna use 12 weeks in this example. And then the data should be determined by whole units, meaning we're gonna round up when it comes down to it. All right, step 2, determine usage by week. All right, and what we're gonna do is divide the overall usage by the number of weeks. All right, for example, let's say that over the past 12 weeks, there's 34.6 bottles of Stoli were sold. We're gonna divide that by 12 and get 2.88 bottles of Stoli used per week. All right, at this point, we're gonna do this for every single product. It sounds tedious, but once they're set up for good. You're good to go. It's gonna make your ordering a lot easier. Trust me. Step 3, we're gonna multiply that weekly usage that you just found out by 2. Very simple. So in our Stoli example, we had 2.88 bottles per week that we're using. Multiply that by 2, we get 5.76. We're gonna make it easy. We're gonna round up. So your par for Stoli is 6. Does that make sense? Okay, pretty simple stuff. Now I want to give you a quick example of setting pars by the case. I'm sure you can figure it out, but let's go over an example really quick. Let's say that we have Bud Light. We look at our historical numbers and see that we sold 390 Bud Lights over the past 12 weeks. Well, if we divide that, we get 32.5 bottles of Bud Light sold per week. All right, 32.5 times 2, 65 bottles. That's your par for Bud Light. Of course, we want to round up. We're not ordering Bud Light by the bottle. We're ordering it by the case. So a case is usually in 24. And if you divide 65 by 24, you get 2.7 cases. We're going to round that up to 3 cases. All right, good to go. Step 4, the final step, we're going to determine our reorder points. All right, a reorder points tells you, or the software, if you have a system in place, when it's time to order more. As soon as your inventory count drops below the reorder point, it triggers that it's time to order more. All right, the Bar Patrol order report is going to tell you exactly how much to order, All you gotta do is click a button, it emails it off. It's very easy. If not, you can go ahead and figure it out manually and then just text or call your orders in. But it's good to have that reorder point so you don't keep ordering. All right, the reorder point is generally your weekly usage or half the par level, so it's pretty simple. When you go get those historical data, you can just look at that and make that your par level, so it's half the par usually. In this example, if your par is 7, your reorder point is 3.5. So when your inventory count on Jack Daniels goes below 3.5, it's time to order more. But I have a lot of people who like to make their reorder point the same as the par. They make it 7. So if they use 2 bottles during the week and it's down to 5 or 5.2, then they know they just need 2 bottles for the week to get back above par. Some people just like to stay at par constantly. They don't like to let it run low. So they just make it the same. Okay, so there's your 4 steps. Pretty damn simple. And that's going to do it for today's Bar Profit Maximizer lesson. Pretty simple, like I said, but if you start implementing each of these strategies, it's going to add up in a big way. Small actions add up to big results in the long run. If you haven't seen the other Bar Profit Maximizer videos, go check them out now. In the meantime, I must bid you adieu. Go forth and reach your potential. You have no idea how high you can fly, said Michael Scott. See you next time. I'm out.